We're live!
We're live, we made it.
We made it, Dr. Art. Yes, look, we're live. and we made it.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, there's nobody here. We're
saying
good evening
it
to
says
nobody.
4 people.
They're 4 mystery people. They're there, but they're not showing up over
They're
there.
masked. Maybe it's 4 Batman. Man.
That would be crazy, right? All right.
There we go.
Old Crayon Car and Truck, Philly. Philly in the house. Front Street. Represent Front Street. Raced there till the sun came up many nights. Bill McHeisko, what's happening? Dickie Farley, War Ghost. Do I got a story for Hall? Yes.
Yes, we'll take the for all.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, War Ghost. Charlie Roma, the Charlie Roma. Charlie, did we ever run Front Street together? Or was that, I don't know, like there's different eras, man. You were part of one era and then there was another era. Did you ever come around Front Street with us? Worst Racer. Uncle Tony, I finally caught a live stream. Welcome, Worst Racer. Yeah. Worst as in like
worst, like worst. He's like German.
Yeah,
he's a German racer. He's a BMW guy. Okay.
So this morning, right? Kathy says, I got you some pants, but I don't think they're gonna fit you, right? So she had like six pairs of these fucking work pants, right?
Okay.
I says, why aren't they gonna fit? She says, they're 34s. I says, I wear a 34. She says, no, you're fat, right? You're fat. You need a 36. I says, the idea is not. Tell me, you can't make the show. I swear to God, you can't make the show. I says, the idea is not to get larger clothes. The idea is to tailor, cut back on the food.
So you can wear the clothes you own.
Continue wearing the same size, right?
Yeah.
This is my way of thinking, right? So she says, well, then you need to do that. So I says, well, fine. I keep these pants. I'm going to keep the 34s. I'm wearing them right now. Look, I got my fingers in there. It's good.
Okay.
So right before I leave the house, she runs over to the store and she comes back. Right? She says, oh, I went shopping real quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing she takes out of it, 2 bags of potato chips.
Look.
She's deliberately trying to
look fatty, yeah.
Yeah. She tells me, oh, you're fat, right?
But then brings home chips.
She always bring home cookies, chips, like all kinds of stuff that's like it's sabotage.
I know. I made cookies. I didn't even bring you any today because I know you're on a very strict.
I'm trying, man. I'm not using the the synthetic, like super sweet, like caramel macchiato shit.
Just regular creamer?
Just regular milk and regular sugar. Because I'm trying. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm trying. But anyway. Okay.
13 people liked your story so far.
Just 13? How much time did I burn down with that?
That was at least a 2.5 minute rant.
So we just have another 1 hour and 57 minutes.
Yes, to fill.
Yeah. All right. NH's liver donation is deleted by 0. Thank you, 0.
All right, catch the spammers. Yay.
Yes. Thumper is here. I am fat. Tony is skinny. It comes and goes. I really have been trying. I did. Somebody in the comments once talked about the carnivore. You ever try the carnivore diet?
Yes, it's great for about 4 or 5 days. Then you go into like a carb rage, and you're just like and you stuff cake in your face, and that's
Dude,
all.
I toughed it out. Okay, so at one point, right, I was living on. Okay, so we had the coffee house. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to make bagels. We used to make fresh bagels. We used to make these bagel sandwiches, grilled cheese with bacon on a bagel, right?
Yeah. Yep, delicious stuff.
And Zeppelis, right?
Okay.
So we used to make fresh Zeppelis. Dude, I was like 210 pounds. And I was like, okay, this is bad, right? So I said, I'm going to try the carnivore diet. So I did it for 30 days, and I lost, and it was going to sound crazy, 30 pounds.
Just carbs.
I lost 30 days and 30 pounds.
30
pounds in 30 days. Eating nothing but meat, just meat. So first off, you have to be wealthy to do this, right?
Oh yeah.
Or be willing to eat things like hooves. It's like hooves and eyelids. Yeah,
right, because you don't eat hot dogs. You eat tenderloin.
Yeah, you're right, exactly. I don't play around. I'm going to eat meat. I'm going to eat. Okay? Right. So you got to be rich to do it. And then there's the carb rage, like you said, after about 4 days. Guys, you have not
smashing things for no reason.
Carb rage. It's completely different than it's a whole state of fucking mind.
Yeah, because it's brain. It's like because you're addicted to the sugars and the carbs, and your brain's like, I want some.
Well, your brain runs on fat and sugar. So when you
Right.
take that away, it's like,
Yeah.
what do you do? So yeah, I know it'll work, man, but it's a last resort. I don't want to try it again.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna catch up here because we've been ignoring everybody. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, you pick one.
Hey guys, just got a 79 LeBaron 318 2 barrel, advanced timing. It runs better, but it slams into gear really hard and stalls. What can I do to get it to shift into gear correctly?
Okay, so you have a carburetor issue you're dealing with there. So when it slams into gear and it stalls, what it means is that you're not getting enough fuel through the transition circuit. So to get the engine to idle, you've got the throttle blades too far open. Okay, so you're pulling a little bit through the booster. Okay, when you put it in a gear, it'll just drop dead. You have a carburetor problem. So fix the carburetor problem. It has nothing to do with the timing. It just has to do with the carburetor. Let's see. All right, let's just stare at this.
Okay. Well, how about we just do this? How about?
Oh, okay. Fubar is in the house.
And Wiz Dirk. Hey, Tony, been doing rebuilding my Harley carburetor.
Harley carburetor.
Harley. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
3310 for the vacuum secondary. When I
took it off, had a truck over the top of the hole where the bead would flow up and down. It was pulled. Yeah.
This plug.
Oh God. When I took it off the truck over the top, pull the truck off the top of the carburetor.
Pull the choke off the top of the carburetor.
Oh, choke. Okay.
Yeah, he's fat finger. Yeah,
truck. Okay.
You park the truck on your carburetor.
It's under a truck.
It's bad shape.
Okay. Truck off the top of the hole. Choke on the beep. Listen. At Wizduck.
Yeah. His name is Steve. He's just having problems typing tonight.
Try that again, my brother.
Yeah.
Try that again. All right. Caleb Henry is listening to you all while finishing the frame rebuild. There was 99 XJ. Go. Man, make sparks.
Yep.
Mexican Spec is in the house.
Nice.
KJ Kylie, Tony on the Belvedere, have you considered concealing a bottle of MAP gas for extra move at the end of it? That's interesting.
Oh, add a MAP gas shot instead of nitrous? The little blue bottle with just right next to the driver's seat?
Yeah, the yellow bottle. The blue is a
purple. Oh, yeah. Blue's,
MAP
is yellow.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for the idea.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, just plug it right into a vacuum port.
Worst racer, how much stroke is too much stroke on a 454 tall deck? Is that a practical question, or is that like an esoteric sort of
Zen kind of?
Yeah, because what are you trying to accomplish with the engine, right? So how much stroke is too much stroke? Physically would be rod clearance, right?
How clearance to the block on the swing around.
And the cam, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you start this on the Chevys, right? You start getting into cam clearance, right? With the stroke.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know how much it's worth. I have no idea. On a tall deck, the cam is in the same location as a short deck, so that's not going to give me any help. Well, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish?
What are you being chastised for?
Oh, I'm not doing that. Kathy Banana says I'm not doing. What am I not doing? What did I do? I'm always in trouble. That's why she brings me home potato chips when I'm trying to lose weight.
You're not. What are you?
I don't know. I'm.
Oh, maybe the dog 911. Maybe.
No,
because that was
I said that
before.
before we.
Yeah. Well, she can hear us.
She hears everything. I know. I didn't even know we were going to go live tonight. I completely forgot. I left the house. The propane and propane.
Okay.
She remembers my nitro sickness days. Let's burn nitro. I left the house. I was like, Cat, I'm going to go do some wiring in the building because we're going to wire in the charging system. And he texted me and he asked me a question. I completely forgot.
It's Wednesday.
So yeah, Cat, you stick to domestic things, right? And let me handle what our vehicles burn. Yeah, I think this is a fair compromise.
This looks interesting. End of time. After 4.5 years of total suffering, my black 1979 Zephyr 505 speed is alive today.
Nice.
Put in the time, you guys. It's worth it at the end.
End of time. Congratulations, man.
That's going to be a fun car.
That is a fun car.
Because the Zephyrs weigh nothing, and it's a 5-liter 5-speed. Yeah.
That's the king of the foxes, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at it right away. They go to
grandma car. Yeah.
Oh no, Fairmonts and
Zephyrs.
And Zephyrs. Oh yes, absolutely. I'm glad you got it together, brother, man.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy's giving me pushback. Kathy Bananas is saying, "Oh, really?
Oh, really? She's struck a nerve there, sir. You may have to explain when you go home."
Sunday's life will be interesting. Thunderbird, have you looked into a dual gas propane system? We had a drift fuel and Windsor with that set up in a work truck. Not really. I want to do back to back, but that's a compromise thing. Feeding the propane through the carburetor. No, I'd rather keep it pure.
Mexican Spec says, because I was watching their live for a few minutes last night. Buff Del Campo just bought a Zephyr Z7.
Really? That's very cool. What's he going to do with it?
It's going to sit around his yard.
Oh, yeah. Mark Hovespian is saying map gas, melted pistons. Oh, like I've never melted a piston.
Yeah. Oh, something new. Yeah. Rust Bucket Restos is here. Kim fixes thing. Mexican Spec. It's a 78. Oh, Kim's here. Kim's, what are your plans for that Zephyr?
Kim, yeah. What are you doing with the Zephyr?
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
I might even want to participate to a limited extent.
I was going to say, yeah, if they got a nice 302 for that, bring it out, rebuild that 302 for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You can do those in the sleep. Yeah.
It's his daily driver to replace the car. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, that's less fun.
That's a lot less fun. There's no turbos or big tires or anything involved in a daily driver.
Even just an NA, man. Just a nice 5-liter.
Oh yeah, with a carburetor. Yeah, just a little 4-barrel. Yeah, it'd be fun.
Brian Allen. Hey, Brian Allen. Just a shout out to White Punk on Nitro. So, Brian, where do you know me from with that? That was a name that I used for years, previous to YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like on different forums and stuff like that.
On shit talking forums.
Everything.
Yeah.
It was White Punk on Nitro. Tim Page, Uncle Tony, was it the 65 Barracuda that had the Chinese knockoff? Yes, BBD carb on it. Yes, it was. And we're just talking about things we could maybe do with that car without going crazy with it.
Okay, so adds Zerkdurst. Yeah, I am going to laugh. What I'm talking about is why the hole plugged where the flow would be from the vacuum coming out of the vacuum secondary. Sorry about his phone.
There's a check ball in there. I forgot why they put the check ball in there.
It's probably just for backfires.
No. There's 2 holes.
Yeah.
And one of them has it. So if you look at the mounting pin, it has 5 holes. 3 of them are for screws, and one of them gets a check ball, the other one doesn't. And for the life of me, I don't remember why that check ball is there.
I don't know one of them why would be plugged.
Let's see. Eric Miller, Uncle Tony, what is the max amount of allowable camshaft bearing clearance necessary to retain proper oil pressure at idle? I have 80 cold and 20 hot on a new engine. Well, your service manual is going to tell you all different engines, all different specifications, different diameter cam bearing is going to require a different clearance. So that said, hit the service manual. The service manual will tell you what it's supposed to be. The problem with checking the camshaft bearing clearances is that you can't do it any other way except just take measurements, right? Or so in other words, okay, let's just say the camshaft bearing, the camshaft hole isn't completely round. Let's say it's oblong by about 1,000th, thousandth and a half of an inch. You'll never know it, okay, until you put the bearing in. And when you put the bearing in, you'll find that. And that's one of the reasons why I don't recommend changing cam bearings. That's absolutely necessary. But the problem is, like on like say you're going to check bearing clearances at a rod or a main, you can plastic gauge it real quick and know exactly what that clearance is going to be. And you can also check across to make sure that it's even all the way across. You can't do that with a cam bearing. All you can do is measure the outside, the inside of the bearing and the outside of the journal and subtract, and that'll give you a clearance. But that's not telling you if the hole is out of round a little bit. Then you got a block that's got like thousands of heating and cooling cycles over the course of its life. There's going to be some shift, some movement and stuff like that. And that hole is not necessarily round. So cam bearings are a bitch, but hit the service manual to find out exactly what it's supposed to be and then take your measurements.
Ghost, hey guys, changed the 30-year-old in my Newport and immediately bent 2 push rods. You changed the 30-year-old? Okay. 2 push rods and now it has no oil pressure. No idea why it could have happened. Gonna make a tool to spin the pump to see what happens. You
don't have to. It has no oil pressure because at least one of the lifters popped out of the bore. So on that engine, on most engines that we deal with, right, you have lifter priority oiling. So the oil path is going to go from the pump through the filter into the block, and then the very first thing that gets oil is the lifters, because almost all production engines that we deal with regularly are available from the factory, or usually come from the factory with hydraulic lifters. So they need to get pumped up. They need to get oiled and pumped up first. And then from there, the oil goes down to the mains. First goes to the mains and then up to the rods. So if you were to, the lifter bores all bisect the main oil galley. So if you take a lifter and you pop it completely out of the bore and you uncover the oil gallery, passage, all of the oil bleeds out right there, and you have zero oil pressure. So
if you pop the push rod, you probably pop the lifter.
Take the intake manifold off.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, on that engine it's a big block. You can do the valve cover. You got, enough space where the push rods pass through that you can get a really long, like a needle nose plier, and you can do it with a magnet. I've done it with a magnet, right? Where you can pick up the lifter that popped out and then drop it back in the hole without taking everything apart. You can do it from
if you're lucky and it hasn't moved all over. Yeah.
No, it'll lay there. It goes, and it can only really lay in that one little section. So valve cover off, rockers off, push rods out, and then in that little space there, get a magnet, fish your way down to the lifter and drop it back into the bore, and your day will be great after that.
Jamie's here.
Jamie at Dead Dodge Garage. Bro, I just watched your video on port. He just found a nice set of 426 rods in a dark corner in the back of the rock. Yes, nice. Jamie is having a good day. I just watched your video on the 273 heads. Bro, feel the exhaust port, the top of the exhaust port outside, and you're going to see that where the exhaust flange bolts on, it has a little bit of a dip down like this. It's not much. It's probably about maybe like 18, 20 thousandths of an inch, right? And I don't know why. Everyone I've seen is like that. Take that, open it's raise the outer roof of the exhaust port just a hair. Just a hair. Just take your grinder and around that. And yeah.
I talked to Jamie a couple times this week.
Jamie is such a fucking great guy. That's why I don't mind that he's stealing all my hours.
Yes, there's a little shelf grind it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because the roof on the exhaust port, that roof is where you're going to gain all your
Exactly.
make your gains. The bottom doesn't nothing.
Right. Bottom does nothing, but the top is everything. And that little shelf there, right, as the exhaust. If you look, man, that head, all the small black Mopar heads. But that head, if you look into the port, you can see the whole of the exhaust valve, right? It's amazing. It's so beautiful. But all of that exhaust is running along the roof of the port, and it hits that little dip, and it creates like a deal there. You know what I mean? You don't want
some negative vortex.
Yeah, negative vibes,
bad juju, negative
it
vortex.
creates a portal to the underworld. You don't
Get
want
rid of that shit. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Gus. Dual carburetor intake manifold, but with small carburetors for future ideas. If two 650 Holley double pumpers are used, would running them very lean save you fuel?
No. Like literally the worst carburetor you could possibly pick for something like that would be a 650 Holley double pumper. Great for a race motor. That's a miserable thing. Double pumpers are calibrating. Double pumpers are intended to be very high performance carburetors, so they're all calibrated to the fat side.
Like flushing a toilet.
Yeah. Literally the worst carburetors you could possibly choose for that. If you want to try an economy version of there's no reason why you can't get 2-barrel fuel economy out of a dual quad setup, but it has to be with progressive linkage. So if you look at like most of the factory setups that have progressive linkage, the front 2 barrels of the rear carburetor will open 15 to 20% before the front barrels on the front carburetor start to open. So there's a progressive linkage. If you want to squeeze for fuel economy, use a pair of Edelbrock 500s, and they have them. You can buy them matched set. So for a dual quad setup, use a pair of those. Make sure you use a progressive linkage so that at low speeds you're only running off the primary barrels of the rear carburetor, and then play with the drop rods and the springs. The springs are very important because they're calibrated out of the box for basically a stock cam. So if you've got some
big snotty cam,
big snotty cam, not a lot of vacuum, you're going to want to do something with the drop rod springs and the drop rods for maximum fuel economy. But you can get 2-barrel fuel economy out of a dual quad setup. You just have to,
you put the right stuff on it and tweak it. Yeah.
So what were you and Zero just put up a link to Jamie's channel, Dead Dodge Garage, because he needs even more of my subs and even more of my views, and has to become even more of a well-known Mopar guy than me.
Right. But he's leading the pack. He didn't trim his beard real.
He's trying to be clean cut.
Yeah.
He's trying to make me look bad.
He doesn't like it.
He's trying to make me look bad. All right. So Zero put up a link to his channel there. Jesus. See, I can see something now.
Just go over there.
You know what? Because I don't have my synthetic.
Oh, it's throwing your chemistry off.
It's throwing my chemistry off.
Okay. All right.
I'm just going to sit here quietly.
All right. Josh Homan, do you want to cheap out too much on undercarriage paint? It's likely to rust that quick. Okay, I missed something that they're talking about. Jamie said, I am a monster and cannot be stopped except by EFI. EFI and gratuitous use of butt connectors was. But he's ironing that all out. So, and then Fubar put up a link to your merch.
Oh, great!
Which you're wearing your favorite shirt, but not your merch. So
somebody gave me a couple of these shirts a long time ago. They're very, very comfortable. And this one
maybe Kathy should make those because people might be jealous of Dell's Cadillac.
They have asked about the shirt many times.
Well, yeah, go ahead. I'm sure Dell's dead.
Dell's been dead for eons.
Yeah, exactly. So no copyright infringement there.
But yes, Kathy Bananas is home right now, preparing merch orders for you guys that have already ordered stuff.
And then Fubar put up a link.
I don't think she works hard enough today. I think she needs more. She needs more work. Let's break Kathy Bananas. Let's.
It's overwhelmed her for this Christmas season with piles and piles of t-shirts. And hats. Yeah.
Let's break Kathy Bananas. She won't say anything when I start pumping map gas into the propane.
Yeah. And
what
then,
a brilliant idea. I love that.
And Fubar put up a link to the merch where they could buy these Big Richard, beautiful Big Richard shirts.
That is the most beautiful shirt.
It is. Look at the back. I mean,
I've never seen a shirt like that in my life.
It's beautiful. And it's very spot on cartoonish wise to the truck with little tires in front, big tires in back.
Dude, are these people even worthy of that shirt? No.
Yeah, for $27.99, they're all worthy.
Okay.
Kathy, she's let's not overwhelm Kathy. Tony wants to be in the doghouse. Must be really posh in there. Yeah, a couple more weeks, it'll be even more crowded. Tony Ace Ventura got a posse for the 308 gears this week. When the snow is gone, Bottle Rocket's going to get whacked. Cooper Cobra tires only, any size though.
Cooper Cobra. So you're telling me I have to run Bottle Rocket in reverse? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I could do that too. I mean, I don't really care.
Do a backwards drag race.
Yeah, well, that's just what he's telling me.
Yeah.
He's gonna go with 308 gears in Cooper Cobra tires. Well, yeah, definitely, man. I'll run you in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Mars, Jamie demands a full refund from the Aces EFI dealer. Who deals Aces EFI?
Well, that would be me, sir.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
that.
I forgot about that.
We sell them earthwide.
Oh, dude, if I had remembered that you were an Aces dealer, there's no way I would have laughed as hysterically as I did when I watched Jamie's video.
It's not.
I had to turn it off a couple of times.
Because you were about to pee?
I did. I was laying there in puddles on my own piss, laughing hysterically. I couldn't stop. I had to stop the video several times. But if I had remembered that you were actually an Aces dealer, damn it, I wouldn't have found it nearly hysterical.
Oh. Well, I watched it. I was ready to fly out there.
You may have to.
But he's getting it straight. We've talked many times about it, so.
Okay, after you guys, I love this, right? So after you guys have done brainstorming and commiserating and figuring out, what's wrong with it, I'll show you exactly what's wrong with it.
Well, yeah, he talked about what you and Tim talked about. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So we'll save that because it's his stuff. But yeah.
Okay.
Which was kind of my thought too when you first was like, oh.
Yeah,
you open up the lobster and you go, oh, okay.
It doesn't know where to pull its reading, how to pull the reading. You can't calibrate because you've got such a variety of. Thunderstruck, where do you buy those Cadillac T-shirts? I don't. A viewer gave me these, like we had just started the channel, right? So a viewer sent me a couple of few of these. I think there were 3 of them, 2 red ones and then this blue one, and I flat wore out the red ones. And this one was lost in my drawer for years. And then Kathy Bananas dug it out and said, "Here, look."
And if you want them, you could probably reproduce them.
Kathy, do you want to do a run of Dell's Cadillac T-shirts?
I suppose we're voluntolding or something that she's going to be doing, because now people are going to want them.
She's too mad to type.
She's through the laptop. She has to go pick it up from the second story window.
The holes. Technical question. I was going to run a WINS additive in the manual gearbox, and I was told not to do that because it makes the oil too slippery and the synchros. No such thing. Yes, don't listen to that. Okay, I have a button here.
Mm-hmm. What?
She's busy throwing away my tank.
See, saving Chevys. I'd buy those Cadillac shirts. It's you have a whole untapped market.
She didn't hear us. So, do you want to do a run of Dell's Cadillac shirts? You want to knock out a screen for this, and we'll offer them for a special offer? Is UTG doing a New Year's stream this year? Sure. Oh, no. No. Uncle Kathy Bananas does not want to do these shirts.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
No, everybody order shirts. No, whatever you guys do. Kathy is so overworked. It's crazy. I'm not making this up. She's so overworked. Please don't order any merch. Please don't follow any of the links that FUBAR puts up to UncleTony'sGarage.com, where we have our shirts and our hats and our stickers and I don't know, stuff, the mugs. Please, when FUBAR puts up the link, ignore it. Okay, she can't take anymore. She can't do another. She's overworked. There's nothing left of the poor thing.
She can't do another 1,000 t-shirts by Christmas.
She can do it in her sleep. Yeah, so guys, please don't order any more merch for a while from UTG.com. Oh no, FUBAR. Kathy Bananas loves you so much. And yet you put up a link to that merch. Please, man. Kat, I'm sorry.
I remember the Rocky Day Uncle Tony-thon. That was a blast. What was that about? Don't you remember?
It's a blur.
Oh, okay.
It's a blur. We did so many different lives.
Mm.
What happened to Uncle Crystal helping with the show? She got a better deal from DoorDash.
DoorDash and Uber on the weekends? Yeah.
Let's see. Charlie has a very large order, a size 10X shirt.
Mm.
Oh, Charlie, lay off of those cannolis, bro. Come on. 28-hour marathon ended after 20. Yeah.
How much coffee did you drink to stay online for 20 hours?
When I first started this channel, I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? I was just
no one does at first. Yeah.
So we did like marathons and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, we had some lives that were like really like parties where we had just a backyard full of people and
just left the camera on and rolling and dogs playing.
Well, it was a little more organized than that, but we tried all sorts of things, and we did the 20-hour marathon ended after 20, and then I tried to do New Year's Eve 2020. I had the Rona, right?
Okay.
But we were going to do a 24-hour marathon, and I got like 11 hours into it. I lost my voice completely. Like, not a sound was coming out.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to keep going. I was like, I don't care, you know, let them live free. But they pulled me off.
Oh.
I was like, no.
Okay, let's.
Do you want to do a 24-hour?
No.
Okay.
No.
Russ Peter Derelict needs to upgrade his coffee cup. It only holds 6 cups. Oh, bro, IV drip, man.
Mm.
IV drip. Kathy Bananas.
Okay.
No.
I have a U set of 66 push rods with a narrow bulb end. Could I swap 2 of those and replace them with the more straight style fed push rods?
Yeah.
Currently,
Don't think anything of it. Okay, where were we?
It's just some gibberish. Mm.
Thunderbird saying, I remember some pretty lit live streams. We did. We had some really good live streams. We had some crazy stuff. Everybody's telling me no tonight. I know, right? Everybody wants to tell me no.
Okay. We have those experiments all over Mexico still, all with 5 liters and a Soul with 3-speed manual. A lot of box tops here and wagons. Oh, that would be.
Yeah.
Mexican spec might have to get me one of them.
How much would it cost for you to get one shipped up here?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd meet them at the border and drive it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a 3-day live trip back from the border back to Tennessee. I've only done that trip 20 times.
Use my trailer.
You gotta go down there and fly in, Uber to some unknown truck stop, meet him there in the middle of the night, hop in this car you don't even know, fill it with gas, and haul ass.
Yeah, not me. That's guys get big views doing that stuff. Yes, War Ghost, you can use those push rods.
Yes,
You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do we have a Tim Hortons in Nashville?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
No, you got to go more north for Tim Hortons.
Yeah, yep. Kentucky has them. I know Kentucky has them. I don't think we have any local.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting the world's biggest Buc-ee's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exits from here on I-24.
That's going to be the world's biggest?
The world's biggest.
Really?
Go for Joe B. Jackson. Is that 5 exits? Joe B. Jackson, Church Street.
96.
96.
Medical.
No, 80. Right?
Yeah.
99, 96 to 99.
96.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 5 exits.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's just stare. Hardy Boy, have you ever built a 2.3 Lima engine? I have rebuilt them, yes.
Yeah.
Have I ever built one like for a hot rod? No.
No. I've helped guys, but I've never been like, yes, I want to build a Pinto engine. I'll help you, but I'm not going to spend money on it.
They're such good engines.
Oh, I know. And they just,
yep.
They go.
The first, and what was it, 2.3? The first engine job, engine work I did was on my cousin Lisa's Pinto with that engine, and it ate the camshaft.
They all did. Yeah.
I changed the cam on it.
Yeah, because it came oiled through the cam.
Yeah.
And then they get plugged
13 or 14 years old.
Tim Hortons opening on Lebanon Pike, according to Russ Peter.
Okay. Everything's open in here. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Any state taxes in Tennessee? Nope. That's why we live here. Part of the magic. There's no state income tax.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. He said he's building one for a Ranger, doing some porting tonight.
Oh, nice. Excellent. Excellent. Kathy Bananas drove a Ranger with that engine for, I don't know, a year or two. It was slow. It was really slow, but it was reliable as hell, man. But yeah, enjoy that build. Definitely.
What Zonda, the answer to that would be no. The logic modules on the 2.2 Chryslers.
Oh, no. It's a body control module.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No.
Nothing you can do with those.
Mm-mm.
Which is why I stay away from these things. Because you have modules and you get into the Kathy just found a what was it? A Shelby Daytona Z.
Ooh, okay.
Signature and everything, right? And it was like $6,000, which is like dirt cheap for something
for
like
those.
that.
Yeah.
She's like, "Do you want that?" I was like, "No." Because things like the body control modules and whatnot are unobtainium, and you can't.
And the computers on the certain those Shelby Daytonas are different from the regular 2.2 turbos.
Yeah.
And if it goes,
You're done.
You're done.
You're done. So Zero just put up a link to your channel, Dr. R's Hot Rod Rehab.
Woo! Which I probably should put some more videos on.
You should put content on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there is some. I mean, some of my older stuff's been doing very well.
Nice.
The newer stuff has been a little missing in action, but we'll get to that.
Do you guys use tariffs instead? No. We have a 10% sales tax here, which is a little bit higher than the average, the state average, but it's okay.
Yeah, because where we live, our property taxes are so reasonable compared to almost everywhere else in the country.
No lie. But we're full.
Yes, we're full. No more motherfucker can move
Right.
here. Yeah. You have to physically remove someone from the state to take their place.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 deal at this point.
And I think I even have a list of people that you can remove if you choose to.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's on. I hoarded a bunch back in the day. There were a couple of places talking about the modules for this for this front wheel drive Chrysler's. A couple of places that catered to front wheel drive turbo Dodges, etc. But I wanted to ask anyway. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it can be done. Anything can be done, right? But at what cost and time and aggravation and head scratching? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because to me, the simplicity of the Belvedere,
Mm-hmm.
right? When it's complete, it'll take one wire
To run the whole car.
to run the whole car.
Yeah.
One wire to run the whole car. The charging system will be extraneous, you know what I mean? Because you don't really need the charging system to run the car.
Right.
Be there. And the lights will be there too, so I have wires for that. But you can literally just take the car and run it anywhere, anytime with one wire.
Power to the coil and one to the kick the starter, and that's it. Yeah.
That's it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and to me, that's worth everything. When I first started playing around with nitro cars, we had 0 wires.
It was a mag.
There was a
mag and a kill switch.
The wire you had was to ground the magneto so that you could, how you start it. You spin the motor up with the magneto ground, you pull the ground wire off, right? So I always thought that was so amazing. It was like a car with 0 wires. This is my goal. I've achieved.
No wiring.
Yeah.
Buddy asked what happened to my Monday Night Lives. The last 2 were holiday induced and kind of work induced, but I will have one that's coming up this next Monday as a pre-Eve show.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so we'll be back Monday at 7. Stuff happens.
Bill Whitaker, opinions on ring gap for 318s, 89 roller motor, cast ring, stock pistons, and bore.
If you're running a carburetor, whatever the spec is.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, whatever the spec is. And if you're going to run a power aider of some sort, open them accordingly. When you buy the rings, in the ring package, it'll give you the recommended gap, and it'll also give you recommendations for various power aiders. So go by that.
Mm-hmm. And I got your Mexican spec. Yeah, we'll talk about transport. Adam Hubbard, well, since we're here, is there a power benefit to using propane? Better than gas, less detonation potential, better or worse economy?
So from everything I understand, it's a 10% loss. It's a 10% loss in power. Peak power is a 10% loss in economy. The upside to it is it has a ludicrously high octane rating, which is resistance to detonation. So it has the equivalent of like 140 octane gas. So you can run much more compression. You can get much more aggressive with timing. You can get much more aggressive with power adders if you choose to. So right now, all I want to do is just get this thing running, just get it functional and learn. You know what I mean? Like just the odds and ends, the ins and outs of the propane. And then from that point, we'll start to try to take advantage of some of its benefits. But I know right off the bat, it's going to be like a 10% haircut as far as power and economy goes.
Robert Bray, 75K discount for property tax for people's 65 and over, and no tax military retirement in South Carolina. Well, that's nice.
And humidity.
Yeah.
The most,
And snakes.
and snakes.
Lots of snakes.
I love South Carolina. It's nice. So some of my best memories were at Darlington.
Steve Schwartz, 04 Ram 4-wheel drive Hemi, vibrates like hell as soon as it hits overdrive. Torque converter? Question mark.
Yeah, okay. As soon as it hits overdrive. Now you're not saying when it hits lockup. You're saying when it hits overdrive. So if it was vibrating like hell when you hit lockup, that would tell me that the clutch in the converter isn't hitting evenly. And so you'll get a little wobble from that. But you're saying when it's overdrive, and I can't think of anything that would be like in that set that could cause, unless one of the rollers, one of the pinions is gone.
Or is it just converter shutter under high load and low RPM?
Could be converter shutter.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Can't answer that. Give John Cope a John knows those things like the back of his hand.
CRT transmission. Yep. Yep. He's your man.
Yep. Old Cars and Music. I didn't know octane for propane was that high. Compressed natural gas has around 130 octane. Oh, don't quote me on that. I know it's up there. It's crazy high, but I don't know specifically. It may just be 130, which is still insanely high compared to gasoline. Vilefly saying hit the transmission with lubricant to fix the torque converter shutter. Torque converter clutch shutter.
There's little stuff that they sell called shutter fix, which does help with that.
Well, what that is that's the fish oil that they use as
in the rear diff for the posi.
Yeah. GM posit traction additive, right? It comes out a little bottle. It's the same thing.
I had an F-150 like that I bought from auction. Beautiful truck, but overdriving it, just dump a bunch of that in. Hey, it's okay. That's all right. Flip. See it. The Easy Life.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. I know propane injection does wonderful things on diesel. Yes, it does. Yeah, it's like crack for diesel engines.
Yeah, I have no experience with that.
Yeah.
I have no experience with that. Travis Moore, maybe we should put a diesel engine in a car and run it off of propane. A Cummins in that thing would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, even the 4BT, even the 4-cylinder, or if you could find a 12L 5.9, it just.
Have you seen? Okay. I was binge watching this last night. It's not the first time I've seen it, but I forgot about it. I started binge watching it again. There's a guy that has a channel called CV Media. Okay. All right. And he's in Thailand. All right. So evidently, and you can't believe it until you see it. Thailand is the drag racing capital of the world.
Yes.
Okay. These guys, drag racing is their national sport. They drag race anything, everywhere, all the time, in every way that you can imagine. They drag race farm equipment through wet rice paddies. They race
the long boats.
They race, you name it, they race it, okay? All the time, everywhere. This is what they do. So they have a class for these 4-cylinder, you can't make this up, you got to see these things to believe them, okay? It's a pickup truck class. It's 4-cylinder turbo diesel.
Yeah, I've seen these videos. Yeah.
Okay, without cheating, guys. Tell me how quick these guys are going with 4-cylinder turbo diesels in the quarter mile. What's the name of the channel? CB Media. I'm gonna look that up.
Okay.
Just so I know what I got.
But it is so over the top. It's like you get caught up in it watching this stuff
I want to be in Thailand
because it's all the weird stuff you've never seen, and it just smoke and tiger smoke and flames and
they got like 100cc motorcycles that run in the low 10s, high 9s. They got these little jockeys. They got, when they stage these things, these guys come up with leaf blowers and to keep the motor cool as they're staging it, right? It's just crazy. And yeah, 7 seconds. They run 7-second quarter miles with 4-cylinder turbo diesels in pickup trucks. Google it or search on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thailand is the drag racing capital of the world. I'm going to just make sure I got the name of that channel right. Oh, jeez, I lost a fortune today.
Ooh, don't look at that.
Holy shit.
Don't look at that. Holy shit.
Holy shit. Okay. I turned on my phone and the gold and silver price came up.
No, now you know what to buy tonight.
Guys, I need those super chats. I need them ASAP.
The lights are going to go off any minute now.
Oh my God. All right. YouTube. Where is he? Oh, there it is, YouTube.
Here's a question that we ran into. What year's 318s have full floating wrist pins? Asking for a friend.
Up until 69 is the last year.
Yeah. Granddad's Junk, your favorite channel.
Yes, it's okay. The name of the channel is CB Media. Look at this. That's a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throwing flames. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a Thailand 4-banger. Leaving the starting line. They race ambulances. They have a race. Okay, this is crazy, right? They race ambulances. There's a class in Thailand for drag racing ambulances, and they have all the equipment in them. They got the stretchers. They got all this stuff.
All the bullshit.
Right? And they set these things up. They run them off of drag radials, okay? And they run down what was the quickest one? 1560, I think it was. The race that I watched. They got mid 15-second ambulances in Thailand. I think we're gonna all go there. I think I'm gonna lead a pilgrimage to Thailand. Seems to be
to Thailand to do some drag racing in Thailand.
Absolutely.
And you get hooked up there with a car and everything. And yeah, do some.
The easy life. I need to answer this question for the easy life concerning lifters. Do I need to soak in oil before install or not? Or I've heard both sides. Do not ever soak your lifters. Don't ever do it. Don't ever think about it. It's okay to get oil on them if you want to dip them in oil. Just make sure that's fine. Okay. Do not soak them. Okay, because you do not want the lifter pumped up. All hydraulic lifters are designed. Okay. All hydraulic lifters are designed so that if there's no oil pressure in them, the push rod will still activate the valve. It'll still open the valve so the engine will start. Now, what happens is if you pre-fill them, okay, there's no, you're taking out any allowance for preload. So if you pre-fill the lifter and now you bolt the engine together, okay, so now if you're dealing with a Chevy, it's okay. If you deal, so you're definitely gonna have to back off on the rockers. But if you're doing like a fixed, like a rocker shaft engine, or a fixed rocker engine where there's no adjustment, you probably won't be able to get the engine to start because if the lifters are fully pumped up, the valves won't close completely, and that's a good way to wipe out a cam. I'm sure that many cam failures are the result of people overfilling the or filling the lifters, not having any preload. The valve doesn't seat completely. The engine doesn't start. You keep cranking
You're
and
cranking and
cranking
and all your
cranking.
preloop's gone.
All the prelude's gone, and then next thing you know, you got a disaster. Do not ever soak your lifters. And if you go to any cam manufacturer where they talk about the lifters, and they talk about preparing everything, they tell you right there, do not soak them. So there you go. Craig Simpson, thank you for helping the loss of $1.99. You're missing a couple of zeros, but thank you. I appreciate it.
A couple, yeah.
A few zeros.
Yeah. Just move that decimal point over a little.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on one second.
He may run out of hair on fire, so hang on, folks.
Jesus Christ. Okay. It's real.
Okay. 80 Cobra guy, good question as a follow-up. Should you prime the motor before starting?
I don't.
I've
never pre-lubed it.
You got assembly lube and everything.
Right.
And you set it up to where it's going to fire right off.
Even if it doesn't fire right off, the like you're building a roller engine, you don't really care if it the cam lights right away. Assembly lube is designed to stick in place until it gets flushed out of the way by the oil. So just for using the assembly lube, you can crank it and crank it and crank it and crank it and crank it, and it'll stay in place until the oil pressure comes and actually washes it out of the way. So I never bother pre-lubing engines. I don't want to say never, but as a practice or as a rule, I don't.
I've never pre-soaked a lifter. I coat them with assembly lube and put them in a good amount on the tops of the lifters. Never an issue. Yeah.
End of time. Thanks for liking the box up. Oh yeah, no man, those are great cars. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And they work better than the Mustangs. You got more overhang. You got a higher center of gravity, and you have more rear overhang. They work better than the Mustangs do.
The Wolves. Uncle Tony, I've been using liquid moly friction reducer in my 5.4 Ford. I say it works great. Do you think it would improve quarter mile times? Could be a bit of the content there was a test maybe.
It would be negligible.
Yeah.
It would be negligible. No reason to not try it. And it's a step in the right direction, but I think it would be negligible.
Mm-hmm.
Russ Peter and Joe looks, yes, hydraulic roller lifters or solid roller lifters, doesn't make any difference. They get dunked in oil for about 10 to 15 seconds, then installed. Yes, and you're only doing that to make sure that the rollers are coated with oil. That's so. When he asked that question, I was thinking flat top it. But yes, on a roller, you always dip the roller end in oil. And like you said, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, just to make sure that the rollers are all coated.
My wife told me the T-shirt and mac and cheese game.
Oh, today. Nice.
Is this a Sunday night thing?
Yes, that was one of our specials.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so when he gets home, he'll send a pic wearing the shirt and holding the mac and cheese. Bro, I'll frame it and stick it in the living room. Kathy Bananas loves stuff like that. She doesn't really.
She doesn't like fan mail pictures?
Well, it's just like pictures of people wearing macaroni and cheese.
It's not her thing.
Let's see. UTG, in a video you did a while back, you made the noise that the new Charger made. You nailed the sound. No, right? I can't make that sound anymore. But yes, I did it. That's literally the lamest thing that's ever happened on Earth. It's, I look at these people in Thailand, okay? These blood and guts drag racers that are just it's an art, it's a science, it's a religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's the purity. You know, and, oh, it's so pure, right?
Right.
And then you look at the new Charger with fake noises.
Yeah.
And it's like we have the giant asteroid needs to hit us directly. It has to be a direct hit right on us.
We've gone so far off of.
Yeah. Russ Peter Derricks is waiting for the SpaghettiOs of beefaroni. Don't give me any ideas, man. Kathy Bananas will not like that.
Damage 1 NCC. How do you feel about rebuilding the straight six in the frame?
Go for it. As long as you don't have to pull the crank, as long as the crankshaft can stay in place, yeah, no problem.
What? Oh, it must have.
Mexican Spec is saying the YouTubers testing the new electric Charger are not liking it. I'm sure, man. I don't think there's really. I said it before. I said it when I did this video record. It is beautiful. I mean, maybe it's not everybody's taste. The side view of that car is just beautiful.
It is, but it was already 4,500 pounds. Now you put a battery pack, and the thing's got to weigh 6,000 pounds.
At least.
And then, a new set of tires every 8 months.
Kathy Banana says she keeps hearing her name. No, somebody suggested SpaghettiOs of beefaroni as the next giveaway, and I'm leaning towards that, Pep. Yes, the Charger has exterior speakers for the fake exhaust sound. Yes, I know. Zero is saying nothing can ever compare to the sound and capture the violence of mechanical engineering through the exhaust or internal combustion. Yes, I agree, brother. 72Z28 says the propaganda folks at Stellantis claim everyone that drives a new Charger. Well, they're commies at Stellantis. They're commies, and then they're really.
Of course they're good. Of course that's their propaganda. Of course.
Chris Freemaster is saying, just wait for the internal combustion engine version of the Charger. It'll be more to everybody's liking. I think it's going to be a packaging nightmare. I don't know.
There's stuff all over. Like it's old Hemi, new engine, this, that, different.
I think to put. I'm only guessing now. Okay, just go by the proportions of the car. Okay. From what I could see, because I was looking at it, like, what could you really put in there? So that Hurricane 6 may fit. Oh, it does fit. I know it fits. But as far as the V8 goes, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. I don't think the Hemi is going to go. I don't think the Hemi is going to fit in there. They may need to come up with a smaller overall V8 package if they ever go that way. I don't think they're going to last that long, to tell you the truth. I think Stellantis is going to be gone in the very near future.
It's too cold here for 15 years out.
What was that?
Thumper said it's too cold for EVs up there. Yeah.
Um, 72Z20 is saying the Hurricane is going to go at some point. There's room to put a Hemi in, but the hood is low. Yeah, no, there's I don't know. Mike and an awful lot of EV hate in this chat. I don't hate EVs. You will never hear me saying bad things about the Teslas. You'll never, because I don't have anything bad to say about them. It's the forced adaptation of the EV thing. That's where I have a problem.
Jamie says the new Hemi will fit, the Gen 3 Hemi will fit just fine.
Will it really?
Yeah, saw shots of a bare chassis on the line. I think the 3rd generation Hemi will fit fine.
All right.
We'll see.
Bro, that's an awfully low headline towards the front and all. I mean, because they've got that spoiler built into the front. It's cool. It's different. I've never seen anything like it, but I don't know. I don't know.
Holy, there we go.
Like I could see the Hurricane motor going in because you can those straight six because like the what were those cars the front wheel drive LH cars were they?
What do you like, the Intrepids?
The Intrepids, yes. So it looks like it's the same basic proportion as the Intrepid. So yeah, you could probably put a third of the straight six under the cowl, which is a suck place to put it, but you can fit it in there. But now when you get to the front of the engine and you're talking about the intake manifold and all that, how is a Hemi going to fit? Yeah, cab forward design. Good for consumers, terrible for guys like us.
William Davis, I'd rather have my old Ford Pinto back in business than most of the cars today.
Burning a lefty. No, I roll my own cigarettes. Pintos were cool. Mitten Muscle saying Stellantis doesn't have a choice but to do something. They are a couple of mistakes away from going out of business. Dude, there is so many recalls. There is so much. Like, have you seen like the recall numbers? I don't remember what they were. It's ludicrous. The sales are going to be the least of it. It's covering all of their previous mistakes, all of their obligations. I
Talk about going into business. You read that today.
Yeah, and Nissan and Honda are talking about, to whoever thought, you want to talk about the end of the world as we know it. Nissan and Honda are looking at merging.
Worst thing Honda could ever do.
You go back 20 years, you're talking about the two ultimate powerhouses, individual powerhouses in global auto, and they're having such a hard time that they feel they've got to merge. You tell me what shot Stellantis has of surviving in the current economic environment.
Not much.
Let's see.
Nissan dumping DEI in the news today. Well, yeah, they're cutting everything. And then it's funny that, well, never mind. I'll just get in trouble.
Well, God,
that, you know, the one guy who ran Nissan and made them billions of dollars, let's put him in prison, and then let's run the place into the fucking dirt and have to sell off half of it to Honda. That's
I'm not
good.
really familiar with any of that, but
yeah, yeah. Somewhere in Lebanon, Carlos is going. He's doing a little finger dance.
let's see.
This Line 6 will fit the new Charger.
With the torch and a welder, anything can fit in anything. That would be a pretty cool swap, though. Just a totally stock 225.
Just a little.
We should get a roasted electric car. Not roasted, but something that's like, Copart, something like a flood car or something like that. That's got a good body, good interior.
Put a Slant 6 in a Tesla.
Just put a Slant 6 in it.
in a Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be very cool.
You have one right here on the shelf.
Oh yeah, I got one under the shelf over here.
Yeah.
They're easy enough to come by.
Yeah.
William Davis, but the 1995 Ford pickup still gets me to work and back, and it'll keep it running, and it'll get you to work and back, and it'll get your kids to work and back, and their kids to work and back.
Oh no.
Reese Belly Garage is saying that he thinks the downfall of Toyota quality is the most alarming thing. I mean, I would agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm seeing things said about Toyotas that I never in a million years would have thought.
That the engines are just falling apart after.
Toyota was the icon, the ultimate icon of reliability, automotive reliability.
The proverbial sewing machine engine, zzz, and go. Now it's
Everything is backwards. Everything is backwards.
It's because nobody cares anymore. They all just want their bonus checks. Nobody cares about volume or quality. We don't have time for that. Nope. Profit per unit. Ah. Okay.
Marlon Hill says he doesn't think a V8 would fit in a Fiat 500. No, but a Busa motor will.
Yeah.
There's people Busa swapping all kinds of cool shit.
Smart cars and things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah, when you can put a 300 horsepower Busa motor in it, why do you need a V8 in a little car, you know?
Put a 454 in a Yugo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. We did Cars Illustrated. So we did, when we were doing Cars Illustrated back in the 80s, we did a couple like fake ads, right?
Okay.
One of them was the Chrysler Imperialist, right? It was like Leia Cocoa Puffs introducing the 1987 Chrysler Imperialist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this thing was huge, you know, and it was a K car, but it was a little stretched out, right? And it had 4 Hemis that were joined by a radial pinion band vortex crankshaft. So we ran that ad, and the next one we did, and I don't remember if I got published or not, but I remember working on Jim Kosks with this one night, and we were just falling out hysterical, was the Yenko Yugo SC, and it was a Yugo with a ZL1 in it.
And the Yenko stripes and
Yeah. And I don't remember. This is 40 years ago, man. I don't remember like, you know, the details if it ever got published or not. But yeah, the Yenko Yugo SC. It was a ZL1 powered Yenko Yugo. You pick one.
There was one here that blipped by. Jer's Jalopies. If we're allowed to ask questions, can you explain how an Edelbrock choke is adjusted?
Yes. Okay, next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're allowed. Go ahead and ask.
I'm joking, right? Yes, Edelbrock choke. Same as any other of those the round thermostat style chokes. So here's what you do. With the engine ice cold, right? Ice cold. There are 3 screws. So you get the black choke where the 2 wires go to, right? The black housing. There are 3 screws. Loosen all 3 of those screws. Don't go crazy loosening them, okay? Then, once you've got them loose, turn is it counterclockwise? It's counterclockwise. You'll play with it. Turn it both ways, and you'll watch the choke blade go like this. So with the engine ice cold, slowly turn, and open the throttle. Okay, it's important you have the throttle open when you do this. Turn the black choke housing until the choke flap just barely touches its stop, like where it can't close anymore. Don't go to where it's spring loaded and forced close. Just go to where it's just, here's a choke blade, and you're just going to turn that black thing and sort of like that, and it just touches. Stop right there. Tighten up the screws. You just adjusted the choke. It's important to have a very light touch on that choke. Some chokes get adjusted so that they're really down there, right? So there's some effort, but those have a choke pull off, which is a vacuum diaphragm that's going to be mounted on the side of the carburetor. But when the engine starts, it's going to pull the choke open a little bit. But the Edelbrocs don't have that. The Edelbrocs just have the adjustment there. So when the engine starts, the choke is set so that, and it's just barely touching, that engine vacuum will be enough to crack it off its seat and allow enough air into the thing to idle until it warms up and opens all the way. But that's how you adjust it.
We did it again.
What happened?
We had top chat instead of live chat, so we were missing stuff.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Okay. Where were we? Scoop's best carb was an Edelbrock 500.
Okay.
Okay. Travis Moore is saying good night. Good night, Travis Moore.
Good night, sir.
Oh, and the Easy Life is on his way out too.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, brother man.
Mm-hmm.
See you Sunday. Torino Elite says a few years ago he did a 454 swap on a Land Rover Defender, and that woke it up. Yeah, that'll wake it up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
East German Trabant. Yes, I would like one of those too. I would like to get my hands on one of the Ladas that the Garage 54 guys use. Lada in Russia. So I see you look at other parts of the world. You want to go drag racing, you go to Thailand, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want like domestic cars that have like an honorable legacy, you go to Russia, right? Because Lada makes, we don't get them here in this country, so we're not familiar with the brand. But they make a range of cars, and some are very modern, very luxurious. Okay, but they continue making
the little turds,
that little right, and it's $8,000 American, new,
mm-hmm.
brand new. You go in there, $8,000, boom, you've got yourself a brand new
car with a
four-wheel drive, Lada, and that you could work on with a hammer and a box wrench. Dickie Farley is staying because he's a UTG fan for life, and we are Dickie Farley fans for life and a half. Yes. Let's see.
Thunderstruck 666. Can't wait to see Dougie's car run. Got a 455 in a G-Body Grand Prix, and it's a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, it would be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a little bit. Ducky had an accident. Ducky had a car accident. He texted me a couple of days ago. He said, "Oh, sorry, I've been around. I woke up in the hospital." I'm like, "Oh, geez." So he got a little banged up. Nothing serious, but he got a little banged up, and he's so the 454 may be a couple of weeks beyond what I wanted to do. I wanted to try to do it the week between Christmas and New Year's, and that is not going to happen. So Ducky's on the mend, and as soon as he's up to moving heavy parts and doing all of that, we'll be back on there.
Because there's really not much you can do with that car now with a dead cam, and it's no.
Just pull the motor out.
Just spray it with Raid again.
I wonder if there's any life left in that thing.
KG Kylie has Tater Tot working out. Nice to find out. Yeah, there's probably go to the dogs again tomorrow because I got another run with go down there, visit them for Christmas, give them milk bones.
What was that now?
KJ was asking about one of the dogs.
Oh, Tater Tot. Okay.
Yeah. So he was this big.
He got adopted.
I'm sure he did.
Okay.
He was cute as shit, so I'm sure he did. So.
Let's see. End of Time says in the summer I had an early 70s 401 4-door AMC Matador pull up behind me like a cop car. I fall in love with it. Yes. You ever watch Adam 12? So Adam 12 was a cop show that ran like from like the late 60s to the early 70s. And the first couple of seasons they were using Mopars. Like the first season was like 67 Belvederes. And then they used 68 to 70 Belvederes. And then I think it was 70 or 71, they went to AMC and they were using Matadors. So if you want to see like maximum Matador, right? Adam 12. They had a great looking front end.
Yeah.
The Matadors.
they were just weird. Northern Grit, my wife has a Matador on the side. Okay.
Go her.
Yeah.
The Matador, if you think about it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The styling, the front end styling on the Matador was 50 years ahead of its time.
With the
picture the Matador, right? It's got the headlights.
Yeah.
And then it has that the whole thing, the whole grill thing that comes out right ahead of it.
Yeah.
Well, look at the current trend on all the cars. They get the headlights, and then the grill part of it comes out.
Yeah. I don't know. When you say Matador, all I picture are the real big, ugly ones with the single round headlight where the hood was curved in the shape of the headlights.
That's later on.
It's later on.
Yeah.
That's all I see when I see Matador in my brain. It's
Okay.
like those big, ugly potatoes.
That's a weird looking car, man. I was with you at Power Tour. There was was it gold?
I think so.
Matador? Was
Yeah.
it 75, 76 Matador?
Yeah.
What a weird car, boy. Oh, jeez. The designers were just like, well, let's put a curve here. We'll put another curve. You know what? Just curve that whole thing. Make it all go like there was no cohesion.
There was a lot of weed in Kenosha that year.
Yeah, it was almost like they took the styling of that car, okay, and they gave it to three guys, and they said, here, you do from the door forward, you do the doors, right, and then you do from the door back. And like all three guys just went home, got drunk, drew out their section of the car, and then they all met, taped the pictures together.
Made it out of clay and merged. Yeah. We're done, boss. Okay. Green Bean.
Thank you, Green Bean.
Any trip you like to do on or off YouTube, like driving the Alcan Road to Alaska? I have driven more miles in cars across the country than I ever care to do again, and I've flown more miles in airplanes. I never want to see an airplane again in my life. So I want a road trip from here to Kroger, maybe to Arby's.
See, I'm like him, right? I covered so much mileage in the 80s and the 90s that I'm just burnt out. Now, okay, what I like to do, I want to do the Trans-America Trail, and I'd like to do it on a motorcycle. But it's very time consuming, and for my channel, I can't make content with it. So I can't justify the time away. Remember, this is a business, you know what I mean? It's like you got to keep running your business, and YouTube demands that we keep posting videos, and if you skip part of the schedule, you get punished. So we got to keep putting out these freaking videos, and I can't just say, yeah, I'm going to go away for a week and do my thing.
Because the drive is a week, then you have to turn around and come back.
Yeah, unless I can make content with it. And for this channel, I can't make content with it because it's not the type of thing that we do. Mark Survey is saying the AMC Pacer's right door was longer than the left door by 4 inches.
It was. And, you know, if you and your buddies are driving down the road in a Pacer and the driver takes his leg and holds that door open and the passenger takes his leg and holds that other door open at 60 miles an hour, the front end will come off the ground.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you learn that?
Well, when I was 16 years old, and my buddy, his dad worked for AMC, and he was forced to drive this ugly Pacer, and, you know, you're bored because it was, you know, some round thing. Here, open it.
Yes.
And, yeah, you're pushing the door open because of all the wind, and the front end just kind of steering loss, and then.
Can we get a Pacer to try this with? Does anybody know of a Pacer in the Nashville area we can rent for a couple hours? Because I would love to try that.
Yeah, because of the round shit, because of the glass and everything, you know, those doors, it's an egg. It's like a big kind of vertical wing, and yeah, the front end comes up. Woo.
Zero, boss, doesn't having the helicopter, the UTG one, help with travel constraints? Yeah, but my crew of evil midgets they're on strike. I can't.
All the yellow minions are
Yes. Yeah.
they having your pilot tied up in the back.
Yeah, my evil midgets are rebelling.
They're
So I got no way to fly it.
It's bananas are expensive this time of year.
Mexican Spec is saying you can schedule videos days out. Sure, but I have to produce them, bro. This is not an easy business.
Yeah. It's not just film and go.
Right. I can't just.
Because no one would watch if you just filmed and went. Yeah.
Yeah, Zero. That's the problem. They've all got that. They got a thing, man. They got a thing.
Russ Peter Brandt equals slide hammer replies to Tumblr. Get ourselves but if somebody went through the pain to keep their pacer running, you don't want to mess with it because they've just about killed themselves. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you don't want to mess it up for the guy. That's bad karma.
20 Cent Motors is saying the Pacers took forever to show up in the showrooms. They had several delays. Yeah, because it was supposed to be a rotary car, and the whole thing was designed. You talk about EV charger here. Okay,
Wayback Machine.
Yeah, Wayback Machine. We were just talking about the EV charger and the different engine possibilities that you could put in there, right? Well, the Pacer is the perfect example of that because the Pacer was designed around a rotary engine. That was the thing. Everybody's big on rotaries at that point. This was going to be the engine of the future. And none of them could get it through emissions. And when they could get it through emissions, it made so little torque that you couldn't drive them. It was an undrivable car. So it was like they all scrapped it at the same time. But AMC had already committed to the Pacer and already had the tooling and everything was in production as far as the cars themselves go when their supply for rotary engines disappeared. These General Motors rotaries. So they had no choice. The only engine they had that would work in there at the time was the 6, which is the same, the Jeep, the 4-liter Jeep, is a descendant of the engine that came.
Same damn 6-cylinder. Yeah.
So to make it fit, they had to stuff it under the dashboard. Nightmare. Like to change, I forget exactly what you have to go through. Like you couldn't take the valve cover off it. And this was the thing with Pacers. And that's exactly the kind of thing where you get like these EV chargers. They're designed from the get-go around the EV power plant. And it's like, okay, well, we'll stick the Hurricane motor in there. Great. All right. You're going to have to stick it under the cowl like they did on the Pacer. But now you're talking about putting a Hemi in there? That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Uh, 265 Chevy. What do you think about a reground cam? There was a company called Delta Cams, been in business since 1972. Yes, and they have a great reputation. Building a 327 hydraulic cam. Go for it.
It's probably better than anything you could buy on the shelf if they've been doing it that long. And yeah,
I trust Delta completely. I don't know why you would want to go with a custom, with a regrind, run an original one, or a fresh grind. But yeah, Delta I've never heard anything but great things about Delta. Spitfire Mike, I think the Pacer engine was a 232.6. Yeah, it's the same, regardless of the cubic inch. That it's the same engine that's in the Jeeps, 4-liter Jeeps. Rusty O'Duff's a long time ago. Yeah. Speed shop I worked at, guy showed up with a 383 swapped into a Pacer. The sledgehammer massaging could be seen everywhere under the hood. There's a Pacer rat rod that runs around here. He's got the back half of it like cut away like a pickup truck, and that has a 302 Ford in it.
Our employee has a Pacer with a 5-liter Ford.
Yeah, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Green, be any interest in building a wheelie car? Not really.
No.
Not really.
I don't know, Zero. If a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, but it happens to fall on a pacer, does it still make a sound or not make a sound?
The glass crunching and the glass shattering would be pretty epic.
Yeah.
I would think, yeah. Jeffrey Bennett, can I put modern Jeep aftermarket headlight bulbs in an early A body to improve turn signal visibility? I don't understand how the headlight bulbs would improve turn signal visibility. That doesn't make any sense. But yes, you can use. All right, so here's what I would do with that. A lot of guys add a relay system to the headlights on a Mopar, early Mopar, because it's a direct hard wiring from the main circuit, main power through the headlight switch directly to the headlights. And so the headlight wire or the connector there tends to get hot and corrode over time. So a lot of guys add a relay to that. I don't really see it as necessary. I've never added a relay, but you can fit those Jeep lights into the early A body housing. But if I were you, I would add a relay if you're going to do that. So yes, physically it'll bolt in.
Because otherwise that's way too much going through that old crusty switch.
I think it's too. Yeah, I think it's a bit much.
You just use the switch as a trigger.
Yeah. No, Tops is not better than Bugler. Damaged one. Tops is like stale Bugler. It's like when the tobacco is too stale to be sold or uses Bugler, they sell it to Tops, and then it's like cardboard Tops is.
Mopar Life 365. Is there anyone to trust in the flat tapping cams these days? I don't know. I got the one for that 318. I built this from Summit.
It's hit and miss. It's hit and miss. Do I trust anybody? No. Just because every single cam manufacturer out there has had problems, and that's not me saying it. Do a search, okay? But again, it's hit and miss, and we've done videos on how to protect yourself by checking the parts, measuring the parts, and knowing what to look for before you assemble it. Unfortunately, we can't tell you how to check the metal, because even if everything is ground correctly, if the metal isn't the right hardness or the right composition, it's not going to last.
Yeah, you need a Rockwell gauge for all that.
You need a Rockwell gauge, yeah.
What did you see?
20-cent motors. Look up Dan Stern lighting for headlight relay. Listen to me. That's Slant 6 Dan. Okay, I wouldn't trust. I got to buy socks from. So, yeah. That's a good question. I wonder if 7220. I wonder if Summit will start carrying Rockwell testing apparatuses.
Or you could take your cam to the machine shop and say, "Hey, here, test this."
Yeah, you could. You could go that extra step.
Yeah. Here, heat cycle is for me.
Yeah. Ken Winter, is a stroker engine supposed to shake the car at idle? No.
No.
You got a problem. That's a balance issue, bro.
Mm-hmm. What's on back in the 90s, you could get a special HP slider cam for the 2.2 turbos with an oil retentive polymer treatment.
They did have, now that he says it, they did have a problem with cams.
Yeah.
They did.
Well, all those with the cam way up on top of the engine.
Yeah, but it gets oil up there. I mean, but they did have, yes, I remember that. They did have. I think it was something in the basic design where there wasn't enough oil, so it is a bucket. What do they call it? Shimmin bucket.
Yeah, the splasher on the yeah.
And I think on those engines, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. This is like vague coming from again 35, 40 years ago. I think there was an inherent issue with the offset of the lobe to the lobe was too centered on the valve spring on the bucket. Is that what it was? I'm reaching, man. I'm reaching. But I vaguely remember something about that.
Big T and Doc, what's your opinion on the Rambler Rebel 1970 model 304 401 V8?
The Rebel's a great looking car.
Yeah.
I mean, like probably AMC's most conventional, right?
Muscle car, yeah, layout and
Yeah, they were beautiful cars.
yeah.
And the 401 is no slouch, man.
Nope. So yeah, if you can get your fingers on one.
Plain brown wrapper. Guys, I have a 1983 60 Smarter police engine. Would a set of closed chamber 273 heads be a good choice for it? Yeah, actually they would. Ports are going to be slightly undersized, valves are going to be slightly undersized, but if you're not spinning this thing north of like 5,500 or so, it actually works in your favor. The small valves and the small ports add velocity, and then the smaller combustion chamber adds compression. So for low speed and mid-range performance, yeah, you would definitely see an improvement. And with that, go to Dead Dodge Garage because just literally today, he posted a video on 273 heads. And those are the same heads I've got on Bottle Rocket. So yeah, go to Jamie's channel, Dead Dodge Garage, and check out the video he dropped today. I keep plugging this guy, and he keeps taking my views. He's eating my lunch. His views are going, I watch everything.
He's got like 50,000 subs now.
I know. Have you noticed how my subs have been going down? And his are going up?
Right.
He's eating my freaking lunch. He's taking my viewers. He's taking my hours.
He slept on his couch.
He slept on my couch. He took my timing light. And now he's taking my dignity.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep plugging him. Why? Why do I do this?
Karma. YouTube karma.
Dead Dodge Garage. I'll promote him while I still have the remnants of a channel.
Hey, SRT8 Richie. Hey Tony, why would oil pressure only drop at idle? Cold start is 50 psi.
Dos razones.
Mm-hmm.
That's Spanish. That's as close as I get.
Yeah.
Okay. Two reasons. One, when the engine is cold, all of the parts are contracted. As the engine warms up, all of the parts expand. And when they expand, the oil clearances around the engine get slightly larger, and so more oil is able to bleed through. Normal oil bleed through, right? Normal oil flow. And second, as the engine gets warmer, the oil gets warmer and it thins out. So those two factors, you start the engine, it'll have 50, 60, 70 pounds of oil pressure, cold, idle, and then after everything's completely warmed up, expanded, the oil's all thinned out, it'll drop down to 25, 30 as average.
And that's plenty at idle.
Way plenty at idle, yes. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb, and it was actually Bill Jenkins, so I didn't come up with this. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb is you need 7 psi of oil pressure to maintain 7 psi per 1,000 RPM to maintain an engine. So at 1,000 RPM, roughly, you need a minimum of 7 psi. Anything more than that, and you're actually wasting power. We'll do the math. At 2,000 RPM, you need about 14 pounds to support everything, and do the math all the way up.
Jeff Hutchins said Jamie's coming for a winning edge.
Oh, I know that. He's
and her 50 frisbees.
He can have the frisbees if he takes her when he finally takes her. Jamie's eventually going to eat all of YouTube. I'm going to call it Dead Dodge Tube. Um, let's see. Mark Survey, funny you mentioned that. I always thought that the valve adjustment would tighten up once the engine warms up. No, it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can tell you on an aluminum block, aluminum head, 426 ME, it's 4 thousandths of an inch. The growth. That's the only engine I ever mentioned on that. Let's see. Valve flies into the lantern. Jeffrey Bennett, do these old 60s engines need any kind of fuel additive for modern pump gas? It depends. Not all engines are created equal. Not all cylinder heads are cast from the same material. Some of them have very soft seats, like the Fords are known for soft seats, and they were designed for a lead additive. So depending on your engine, I know the Chryslers, they don't, right? Chrysler flame hardened their valve seats early on, and they use a very high quality, high nickel compared to a lot of other manufacturers. It's not necessary on a lot of engines, a lead additive. Other than that, no. Now, I run all of my vintage Chrysler products on regular, 90% gas, 10% ethanol blend that we have here, and I never have any problem with it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I think it died.
I think it died. Look at talking about death.
Only 118 likes. Oh my God.
Our other 300 likes that we're supposed to have, Jimmy probably has those too, doesn't he?
Yes, he takes my likes. He takes the likes. He takes the subs. He's taking everything. He's taking my
sandwich. Pretty soon he's going to take the Mexican place you like to go to.
I know I'm eventually going to go to the house, and he's going to be sitting there on my couch with the dogs. Yeah.
With the deed.
Yeah.
Go. It's all mine now. It's all mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Max Level saying, "You'll know it's over when Fubar posts a link to Jamie's merch in the chat." Yes. Hot and cold lash. Put it on masking tape somewhere under the hood. If you don't have a lash setting, okay, like so in other words, like you're not sure what it should be, you don't know the cam, so here's your safest rule of thumb. If you've got to set valve lash on an unknown combination, with the engine as cold as it's going to be, right? Set the lash at 2 thousandths of an inch. That's all. As cold as it's going to be, 2 thousandths of an inch. Just enough so that it's not in contact. You know what I mean? So right, and then when it warms up, it'll open up to 3 thousandths, 4 thousandths of an inch.
Mm-hmm.
You should be fine.
Buddy Carfano said Jamie's car is faster. Also,
I know. I gave up. I threw in a towel on that one. Mark Sauvé's not going to click the like on Jamie's channel anymore. That's it. The rebellion starts.
The rebellion. 2025 rebellion. Take back the channel. Yeah.
Overly built. Do you plan on experimenting with nitrous and propane? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Mark Sauvé. So 20 thousandths. No.
Not 20,000. Okay. No.
Yeah. Put another O there before the 2.
0.02. 002.
Right.
2 10,000ths. Yep.
Yeah, that'll get you where the engine will start, because it's not going to hold the valves open, and then as it expands, you'll have adequate lash to run, what you got. Termy, where can I get a brake booster for a 65 New Yorker? Oh, man, I'd say to ask Jamie, but
Yeah.
I don't want to keep throwing stuff his way.
Now you're throwing money into him.
Now I'm throwing, yeah. I would say yes, Jamie at Dead Dodge Garage.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the Dodge Rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, oh yeah. Click the thumb down. Actually, no, don't do that because even if you give it a thumb down, it's still a reaction, and YouTube counts that positive.
Right.
So.
Just sit there with your fingers in your mouth and do nothing.
So, what do you have going on your channel? What's the latest?
The latest is, truthfully, not a lot because it's, I got another tuning video coming up because we talked about that RPM extension on the JTEX.
Yes.
Because
we could try it, but I don't think it's going to do any good.
I know, but it's physically there. So, because a lot of people have asked if they could extend that. So, it's in theory, I figured that out and paid the extra to have the permission to do this and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, if you just want to play around with it like that, knock yourself out.
Yeah, that's all.
I didn't realize it was an experiment. I thought you were actually trying to get more performance out of the thing.
No, I just want to.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is. And then, if I could ever get back outside, if it would stop raining and being freezing cold, it's shitty out. I could put the Falcon back together, finish up the taillights and the 4 or 5 things on Big Richard. This lovely shirt that you can get your own copy of here for a mere, pittance compared to the price of groceries.
What would be kind of neat is after you're done putting the Falcon back together again, is if we were to take a ride down to Mexico and see how it stacks up against the XJ.
The Jeep?
Yeah. You down?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a lot easier to drive that down there than the Ranger because we get arrested with the Ranger out there, I think, probably.
I have a back way. Well, I can get there from
your house you can, yeah. Mine I got to cross freeway or trailer down there. But yeah, the Falcon's got plates and wipers and the whole thing. And,
then let's do this.
Yeah.
Propane and nitrous. Uncle Tony's Rocket Man Garage. I want to have fun with the thing as is. You know what I mean? Like I want to do some stuff with the car before I really start pushing it to where it's going to break things. So it may be a little bit before we get to that, but I will get bored relatively quickly because I have the attention span of a gnat. And at that point, we'll start pumping all kinds of different things into it.
2 weeks after it's finished, we'll put the nitrous on it. Yeah.
Probably. Okay, Harry Lister says AutoZone has a listing for a 65 Newport brake booster.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Trimmy, what do I need to convert a 65 New Yorker power brakes to manual brakes? You need the right pedal rod. So on the power brakes, on the Chrysler power brake systems, it uses a reducer. Like there's a linkage in there. Okay, so that the pedal ratio isn't the same as it is for manual brakes. So what you would need to do is you would need to get the correct manual brake push rod, or get an adjustable one and set it yourself, and get rid of the linkage that's under there, that cantilever linkage, and just put the direct pedal rod on there, and then you can do that. Overly built. We are currently developing a 1000 CFM propane carb. We have far exceeded the IMCO 425 ratings, hoping to have everything finalized this winter. Overly built. How do I get one of those? Because I've been wrestling with a double, pick up a dual quad intake manifold and put in 2 mixers. I would love to get my hands on 1000 CFM propane carb. Mm-hmm. Get a hold of me, Uncle Tony's Garage at gmail.com. Tell me what I got to do, how much it's going to cost, and let's do this thing. Termy, don't I need a different size master cylinder diameter? No. No. So the 65 is going to be a single pot anyway, but the bore of the master cylinder has to do with the proportioning front to back, and on that one there's no proportioning. So no, I wouldn't worry about it. Robert Bray is saying the rod might mount higher or lower on the pedal, and it does. There are two holes. When you look at the brake pedal, there's going to be two holes up there. And one of them is for the power brake position, and the other one is for the manual brake position.
Yeah, and the stupid Fords have separate pedals.
Oh, do they? Ford, because they have to have
Because they have to,
an
yeah.
extra part number.
Yeah, they can't just have one pedal. No. Able to hear, will you be drifting the Ranger behind the Belvedere? Probably not.
Probably in front of the Belvedere. Belvedere's not going to be a very lightning fast car, I'll tell you that right now.
But probably the Falcon, because that'll be fun. I'll take the big wide tires off of it and put some throwaways on it. And,
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
pump them up to 80 pounds. And
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I do want to make that car drivable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
You can use it.
Yeah, that's why I put a bench seat in it.
Mm-hmm.
So this way you get three people and you can actually go on a road trip with the thing.
Right.
Frog Feeder has a technical question he needs expertise on. Frog Feeder, hurry up. You've got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, you get about 6 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Termy, he's already been down that. I put a manual cylinder on and manual manually hard to push with a manual rod that I got off the Dart. It's going to be a different length rod on the Dart.
Mm-hmm.
A body, B body, C body. All use different length push rods.
And I come to find out they all use a different bolt to bolt that rod to the pedal. They're all different.
Yes, you're right.
They're all
The
different
manual
sizes.
one's a bigger diameter.
Yeah.
I forgot about
I
that.
found that out at $20 a shot off eBay.
You should have just dug through my tool bin or my parts bin at the house.
No,
I got
I
that
just-
blue thing with all of those.
Just a drill. Okay, yeah, now it fits. Okay.
Territory Tony, you're building a trailer behind the Belvedere with multiple propane tanks on a rack. No, but you see, that's the thing about having a barbecue, the option of barbecue tanks. Because if I do find myself to where, I'm in the middle of wherever and I can't get a propane tank filled, I can pop into a Walmart, grab a barbecue tank, stick it on there, and go another 100 miles.
There's always a Dollar General.
Exactly.
With the little thing out in front. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm bent on getting this thing to work on barbecue tanks, so that I'm not at the mercy of, it's Saturday afternoon and the propane place doesn't open until Monday. Overly built. We have the same issues with the only option being dual 425 mixes. We're still in design testing phase. I'll definitely let you know when we get closer. Yes, please do. And you have experience with these things. I would love to talk with somebody who knows about this shit. Yeah, absolutely. And overly built, before this is over, please tell me what I'm missing or if I'm missing anything with this barbecue tank thing. I'm sure you saw the video we did today, and I would love to have feedback from somebody who actually knows. Fun with cars. Tony, have you noticed your channel views ticking up again? Yes. There are reasons for that. But and they don't really have to do so much with the channel, but with the state of YouTube as it is, because there are, in our little world of hot rod, muscle car, this sort of thing, there's only so many people, there's only so many eyes, and only so many hours to view YouTube. So with all of the new personalities that do have big followings coming into YouTube, it's taking some of those hours. So it's just.
But have you noticed the new guys? They go in one big load, and then they're like, I don't know what to do.
Well, you see what they're doing is they're choking each other out.
Yes.
Okay. What they're doing
they're all in the same cage fighting for the trophy.
Yes. You look at all. I'm not going to mention any names. Okay. But
you
they're
can
the
figure
big
it out.
names in YouTube or the big names in automotive media. And what they're doing is they're stretching their videos. They're trying to get out to 2 hours and 3 hours because what they're doing is they're trying to choke out the other guys because there's only so many hours. So they're competing by trying to lock the viewer in and keep them on there so that, somebody who's only got, let's say, 2 hours a night, 3 hours a night to sit and watch YouTube videos, they want that viewer for the whole night. And so these guys are all in a battle, stretching their videos out to try to choke out the other guys. It's great watching this. It's going to be fun to see who's going to survive.
It's all going to go, please.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that absolutely did put a number on our views, but I'm not worried about it. You know why? Because not a single one of them can do what we do.
The more channels that get shut down for illegal car giveaways.
Please, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Alan Shildroff, increase the compression of your propane motor. Yeah, good idea, bro. I didn't even think of that. On my way back through the shop on my way out, I'll pull some extra compression out of my pocket and throw it at the freaking engine. Brilliant. Russ Peter Derricks, consistent YouTube income having a big library that comes up on searches. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Overly Built is saying the only thing I can think of being an issue with the grill tank may be a lower flow protection lock or valve setting. Interesting. Interesting.
Be out there with the propane torch heating up your propane tank to get the pressure up.
No.
Oh.
Flow protection. So in other words, inside the tank, okay, there's a device that, let's say, line breaks, okay, and flow exceeds a certain amount, there's a shutoff.
Oh, so if you have 1,000 CFM hat on it.
Oh, even the one that we have, I don't know. So it's not a matter.
It's right on this, but
not off the barbecue tank. I'm talking about the barbecue tank.
Oh.
Okay. See, that's something that never came up. But now I would think that since they offer that red, the piece I was talking about today, I forget what the BTU rating on it was. But I would imagine since they offer such a big orifice, that orifice comes very close to matching what I see as far as orifice size in the outlet inside the valve on the tank. I think it might be enough. We'll find out. We're going to find out.
And if it's just for like emergency purposes to get home, you just wouldn't use that much.
Brian Power is saying propane tanks, if memory serves, have an approximately 35,000 BTU emergency cutoff. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I still want the option because even if it's no good for all-out performance, it is good for a fail-safe. It'll get me home. So if I could just drive it at small throttle openings and small flow, just to get where I got to go, or even to use the barbecue tanks to get someplace where I can then switch over to the high flow tank, that's enough too. But I feel that the option is important for me to have both.
Or if you're stuck, you can make your hamburgers.
Or if I can make hamburgers, exactly.
Then
exactly.
Yeah, if you got food, who cares?
Overly Built is saying normally aspirated pressure operation is 1.5 water column of pressure. The grill tank might be okay in your case. Definitely wouldn't work for us with forced induction. Okay, that's good to know. Overly Built, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now I have much to think about. Overly Built. Question, and this is something I thought about. If I was to run a pair of the barbecue tanks, would the combined flow not trip the pressure? I don't know. Okay, let's see if he says. Mark Survey is saying, but doesn't the mixer use liquid propane and not propane gas vapor? Well, this Overly Built here deals with this stuff. This is he runs blown propane, so somehow forced induction propane. So if there was a major flaw in my reasoning here, he would be the guy to see it and point it out. And he's saying that it looks like it'll be okay. Yeah, overly built, man. Thank you. Overly built. Do me a favor, right? Go to UncleTony'sGarage.com. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Go to UncleTony'sGarage@gmail.com. UncleTony'sGarage@gmail.com, and just put in there propane info, and I just want your address. I want to send you a shirt. So let me know what size you wear, right? And I want to get you a shirt. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. Mexican spec saying, "Can turn you pictures of Mexicans." I can find pictures of Mexican cars. I can find pictures of factory and add-on automotive propane systems all over the place. This isn't that. This is a hybrid type of thing. It's not the same. All right. Oh, God, we're over 2 hours. I can't believe that. It went so fast.
It did.
All right.
Once again, we have conquered 2 hours.
We have done it. We ate that 2 hours like it was nothing. Ready to spit it out, eat another 2. No.
No.
I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to do anything anymore.
No.
I want to go work on the Belvedere now.
Okay.
I'm going to go home.
I do want to go home.
Not eat some potato chips. All right.
We covered what I'm going to do. What do you got coming up this week?
Fucking not a thing. I'm scratching. I don't know yet. I got a couple of ideas.
Another trip back to Harbor Freight for some gadgets and gizmos and propane accessories.
I saw a video clip came up on a thing called English Town Memories. I saw a video clip that got me thinking of stuff, and I may do some retro drag racing
trivia
content,
kind of history trivia.
Yeah, because everybody sees clips, video clips, from races they broadcast on TV of 1970s, early 1980s drag racing, but it's always over edited, and it's always talk over. The sound is always muted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you never get a feel for what it actually
the feel for it.
Yeah. So I caught a couple of videos that were shot in Englishtown in the late 70s and the early 80s, which was like when I was like, this is it. I'm going to base my life on this. That are like raw. Okay, it's like all the sound is there, all the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the angles are great too. So I got to talk to the guy who I knew years and years ago. I got to talk to the guy who has those videos and see if I can get my hands on them, because I would like to show. I keep talking about how cool drag racing was in the 1970s, 1980s. Now I can actually show them. You know what I mean? So, all right. So that's it. All right.
That's it, guys.
That's it. Our awesome mods, Zero, the man, the legend, Zero, Mexican Spec, Fubar. Guys, thank you so much, as always. Everybody contributed Super Chat. Thank you equally. I had such tremendous losses today.
Woo!
I didn't realize I lost this phone before. I lost a lot of money today.
Just sitting here, lost your ass.
Please, yes. But that's good. That's good. It makes me work harder. And everybody contributed just for your presence and your conversation. We thank you equally. We are eternally grateful for you guys clicking on us. You give us the opportunity to do what we do, and thank you. And that's it. I'm going to hit the end button.
Hit the button. Say goodbye, good night,
You want to sing us out of here?
I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun.